We've got another set of twins, 4th set this year, and first fatality. That's a bull, and that's a bull. It's pretty fresh. It's not super late, but it's definitely cold and it's gone. So she gave us another set of twins, so that's our 4th set for the year. But again, it's our first fatality, so it sucks. But you can see 2 umbilical cords. He's unfortunately been dead a couple hours. He's pretty cold, so
he's breathing.
Son of a... Come on, buddy.
Come on, kitty. Let's go. Get up here.
Come on.
How can you be that cold?
Yeah. Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Come on. Stay tuned. We thought this little bull calf was dead, but we saw him breathing.
He is cold. We gotta get him.
He's super cold.
He's barely breathing.
There's a breath right there. So we gotta get him in. We got him in front of a space heater and we're trying to warm him up.
Externally if we can.
Well, I was gonna flip it real quick. Okay. The other side too.
His breathing is a little better.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Here's
some deeper breaths.
Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Get him up on his sternum. It's easier to breathe. There you go.
Better. We got him in front of a space heater and dried him off. We keep trying to rub him. We don't know if it'll work, but we're gonna keep trying.
Opening his eyes a little more times.
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Ears moving.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, little man. Up. Come on, kid. Try not to play this heat on his eye.
Yeah.
There, his eyes moving back a little bit more. Come
you gonna
on.
fight for me?
Come on, kid.
You gonna fight, buddy?
You can live.
Come on. Come on.
You pretty warm?
Right here he is. If you can try, baby. There we go.
Moving his head, switching
There
away.
you go. Come on.
Come on, old guy. Give it a try. We've got a little hope because he did have a couple of shallow breaths early, and the more heat we get on him, the deeper and more rhythmic those, oh, there he's moving his mouth, the breathing gets. And he's starting to at times twitch. There he's opening an eye. Now when Calen quits moving him, that eye's going to go back closed again a little bit. And then when he opens, there's a mouth moved. So this isn't like he's got any other ailments that is causing an impending death. So this is why it's important to try. Some of my old former life, I did a lot of rescue training, and especially cold water training. And one of the things that we're always told, and any EMT will tell you, is that you're not dead until you're warm and dead, because we have things called like a mammalian dive reflex, especially in water, obviously, that your body shuts down, doesn't breathe, but your major organs continue to function. And then when you're pulled up out of the water, you can get some water, or get some air outside that water and warm up, then you kind of come back to life. It's just a kind of a really neat thing that happens in mammals. And so with his extra breathing that's taking place, he's getting deeper breathing. I put my fingers in his mouth and I could feel him move his tongue, and he's very cold inside, really cold. And there's no reason to even take a temperature on this guy right now because he's so cold. But he moves his eyelids, and occasionally he'll move his mouth, and the eyes will, of course, blink a little bit. Not really blink, but he's getting some twitches on his skin a little bit here and there. So Calen's going to continue to work on him, and we don't know if this is going to be a good save or not, but we may have a situation where we got a dummy calf syndrome. He's obviously out of a twin. Look at that, breathing is much better. It's more like a normal birth calf. He is trying to warm that belly up some. And we've got the hot box here. This is kind of the super heater we're putting on him to get him warmed up as quickly as possible, and then maybe stick him in this box and let him go. Yeah, you see he's trying to swallow here and there. And his pupils aren't dilated, so that's obviously a good thing. You can see him starting to come back into focus, but this little guy was almost dead, and he may still be. We just are prolonging it, but it's sure worth a try. Oh, there he closed his mouth. Starting to become more and more aware of what's going on around him a little bit. Yeah, we'll just keep at it, see if we can save him, and he's had enough air that he hasn't got brain damage or something like that. But we'll give her a try. He's trying to set him up sternally. They breathe easier that way. Get him up on his sternum so he's not got all the weight on one side of his lungs. There we go, lifting that belly up. The mouth is closing more now on its own instead of just gaping open like they are in death. Well, let's give it a little bit more time and see what happens. So Calen's been blinking his eyes for him. We don't have any cream or anything right now to put in his eyes, and don't want him to dry out, so he's blinking kind of slowly on his own, but we want to make sure he doesn't dry his eyes out, cause a problem there. So we got his face covered, but he's gotten 4 really small cries out of him. So we're hoping we're on the right track here. And we just set up and plugged in this infrared heater, so it's ready to go, and we'll get him under it, get some more heat on him, a different source of heat, and give him a little bit of time. We need him to warm up first really well before we can put any milk down him. But once we do that, get some colostrum in him, that'll really pick him up when he's able to drink and put it in his body okay. He's been kind of clamping down on Calen's fingers a little bit. Calen's had his fingers in his mouth, trying to warm that mouth up a little bit. and got some more mucus out of him. And then Calen said he was clamping on him a little bit, so that's a good response. That's a really good response. Seen his ear twitch a little bit. Of course, Calen's pulling in right now, but he's taking some big swallows, a lot bigger, deeper breaths. So things are headed the right direction. Keeping our fingers crossed.
After an hour and 15 minutes of trying, we had to call it quits. You'll see that's mucus that came out. I got some out earlier, and then we thought we were losing him. We tried to kind of put him hind end over front end to get a bunch of mucus out, and about triple that came out. And now we shut down everything, and it's still coming out. So we think he may have aspirated some of the amniotic fluid or something when he was born, and he may have been beyond savable, but at least we tried. Little guy was fighting for us a little bit there, but I just couldn't pull it off. So I did CPR. Dad tried helping get his heart rate going. It just didn't work. A little bit of a heartbreaker there.
So this calf is Braden's calf. I get calved this morning. It doesn't want to go out on its own. We stopped to see who it was because it was bedded down really tight, and so it's followed us as Calen's running. Now I gotta try to beat it out. Here we go. Oh, this is funny. Push it that way. Yeah, there he goes. I should have got hung up on the fence. There we go. Hopefully she won't get through. I can get through here.
Yesterday, we lost a calf. And it's interesting because my dad happened to catch a video of me playing with a calf at the end of the day. Retrospectively looking at it, losing that calf in the morning and then playing with the calf and kind of tussling with the little heifer. At the end of the day, it was a very full spectrum of emotions and recognition of how different life is, especially on a farm or a ranch, and the appreciation that you can get from it. The day started with such a heartbreak losing that little guy because he'd come so close to getting there and overcoming, and then we just lost him so fast. We worked hard for well over an hour to save him, and it just looked like he was getting better and better and better until he just wasn't, which is typical with, I know, infants in the human world. It just kind of seemed like the same thing with the calf. So looking back at it, such a heartbreaker. Start the day so low and end so high. Only a couple hours after we lost the little guy, within 1 hour, I wrote a piece, an insight. I felt like it was very representative of how farmers and ranchers feel every year during, lambing, calving, whatever it might be. So this was my take on it, especially it being my first year calving on the ranch. It's titled, "Don't Tell Me I Don't Care." I love life, and that is why I spent 75 minutes this morning fighting for it. I carried a baby. I rubbed it dry. I helped clear its lungs of mucus. Then I finally fought to breathe life into its corpse during the waning minutes. I felt its breath, its heartbeat, a few slight balls of energy. I felt life in my hands, yet it slowly slipped away, despite the hard grasp I tried to maintain. Forgive me if I am irritable and combative today, for my throat still chokes as I smell the remnants of a calf's body in my beard, and the wood chips we laid him in irritate the skin beneath my shirt. The grime and dirt from my fight for life were still caked upon my knuckles. Today was a morning that started like any other this calving season, yet it ended with deep-set emotions from far within my heavy chest and capped by slight tears from the corners of my eyes. Not once during my long attempt to help the dying calf in my lap did I ever consider the thought, I don't want to do this anymore. I left an easy life with good pay and better benefits to return to one with an unknown future in many regards. I left a life dedicated to saving men and women and returned to one of animal husbandry where I am repaid with fun, playful days filled with excitement and beauty, then supplemented by dark, sullen times such as this where, despite my best efforts, I lose. I hate losing, but Mother Nature ultimately makes the call. The hardest thing today was not the physical effort to help the calf live. It was not putting my mouth over its tiny nostrils in an attempt to breathe in life. It was not the burn from the space heater as I fought to warm a hypothermic body back to existence. It was the moment my father and I looked at each other and recognized it was too late. Despite the best efforts of two men to save a beautiful life, we had to walk away and accept that we cannot save them all. We have been beyond fortunate to have this as the first fatality as we approach the halfway mark of a long calving season. That does not mean it becomes any easier to accept an undeserved loss, I assure you. I never stopped caring. Recently, a few people on social media have trolled my accounts where they remind me and followers that these beautiful babies we help bring into the world each spring are raised for slaughter. Yes, they are. That is a fact I do not shy away from. I have to eat, my family must eat, and the rest of the world needs to be fed by animals just like ours. I do not turn a blind eye to that fact, but I can guarantee I provide for them in the best ways possible until that final moment. That moment where they transition from a living being to a nutritional, sustaining food source for me and billions of others. I do not relish the idea of these beautiful creatures one day dying, but I have long accepted it while I recognize it is not ideal. However, if I want to live, I still need to eat. Don't tell me I don't care when I fought longer than that little bull calf did this morning. I am a rancher. I understand what ultimately becomes of my livestock, but that does not mean they do not hold a piece of my heart, regardless of what becomes of them, now or later.